Well, hello. Welcome to episode four?
Five.
Five. I'm losing track so soon. Oh my goodness. This is Ondrej. I am the butterfly guy. Zach said Ondrej the butterfly guy. So that's me, I guess.
What a nice introduction.
I know, right? I am so great in introducing everything. And here's Pavel. Pavel is the one who corrects me if I say something wrong.
Yep, that's me. Hello, everyone.
And we just came back from China.
Yes.
From the Asia Card Convention. And it was really cool. Well, we'll talk about it for about half an hour now. And we'll tell you all about it. And I will let Pavel ask me questions and I will answer. But very important, Pavel was there with me.
Yes.
Which is rare. And I was very happy about it. Well, the way it happened was when I got the invitation, I said, Pavel, you're coming with me. He was like, nah, I don't really want to. And then I was like, yes, you're coming with me. I think I'm going to need you. And he said, okay, all right.
And then a couple of months later, I'm sitting for 10 hours on an airplane from Istanbul to Guangzhou.
That's right. And that's where it was. It was in Guangzhou. Actually, it was in Foshan, which is a city a little southeast of Guangzhou. Southwest, correct. See, that's why he's here. So, southwest. And the convention, unfortunately, happened at the time of an outbreak of this. Was it a flu?
It was like a flu that's typical for Africa, and it's transmitted by mosquitoes.
So we had repellents all the time. We sprayed all over. And when a mosquito bit us, we thought we were dead. No, but unfortunately, as it happened after COVID, and Chinese government made a big thing out of any other disease basically spreading. A lot of people got scared, even though it felt like it's really a minor thing. And nothing happened to us. We're here. We didn't catch anything. And we don't know of anyone who would, actually. Yep. But because of that, the attendance was not as expected. I think there was about 500 people registered.
Yeah, I think about 400. And then finally about 200 to 250 showed up.
Yeah.
And that's on Saturday. My lecture was the very first thing on Saturday, where I found out that there's also a lot of traffic in China, and a lot of people just didn't make it soon enough for my lecture. So I had about 30 people in the audience for the lecture. It wasn't exactly the very first thing. Right before it, that was the opening ceremony. Ceremony. And that included some welcome words from Ocean, the MC of the event, and some introductions of new deck collaborations. Interesting. Yes. But before we get to those...
Wow, we're teasing you so much. Okay.
Just a little tease. We had interesting few days before the convention. So the convention was on 23rd and 24th of August. It was the Saturday and Sunday. Yes. And before that, we had the chance to visit 2 playing card factories.
That's right. 2 playing card factories. One was quite small in a way, also invisible to a naked eye if you looked from outside of the building.
Hands up everyone who thought that a playing card company can reside on the 8th floor of an office building.
That's right. 8th floor of an office building. So my hand is down. But it was great. It was really nice. It was everything what you would expect from a Chinese factory, which I don't know what it means. But in my case, it definitely met all of my expectations. But talking about quality in China, I was very impressed by 2 things. One was a very intricate foiling. In this case, it was hot foil on some boxes, gold foil, so much detail. They have this special technique that they use, and it looks so great. And I think we can say that was the Kingstar
Yes.
factory. And another thing that we saw there was a cutting machine that cut some decks right in front of our eyes. We had like 3 sample decks, and oh my goodness, that Pharaoh,
So smooth.
yeah, it's like, wow, now I'm gonna take a deck of bikes and I'll feel like this is too difficult.
Yeah. And it was literally a deck that was cut in front of our eyes.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah, so that was very impressive. And they also do some really cool packaging. There was, what was it? The Lady of the Lake.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that was so great. So they really make some cool stuff there. And so that was the first factory. It was very hot in there.
Yeah. And then Room 1, the organizers of the Asia Card Convention, one of the organizers, the other was the CKB Studios, they invited us to their factory, the place where they print all of their cards. And it was something else.
That was a little bigger. We were not really allowed to go to see most of it. We went to some parts of it, which was very cool. But it is the second largest manufacturer of playing cards in the world.
Yes.
I think, after Cardamundi. And it is called the QP Group. We visited the QP Group where Room 1 prints their cards.
Yep.
And amazing. Like, those card boxes are something else. It's just... You've heard of origami? My goodness. Yeah. Well, just go to Room 1's website or to our website, because we're just getting a lot of cards from Room 1 to feature on our website, in our store in Prague, in Butterfly Wonderland, and online at butterflymagicstore.com. And those cards are just fantastic, and the boxes are phenomenal. The design is great. And yeah, just pretty cards with a lot of details. There is one that functions as the mystery box. No.
Yes.
Is it called mystery box?
I think it's called the vanishing box, but it should be basically the
vanishing box, but
same principle.
Same thing. So you have a deck of cards, and you just, it's like a drawer. It opens like a drawer, and you show it's empty. And then you say abracadabra. No, you say abracadabra. And then you open it, and wow, there are cards.
Yeah.
So that's one of these things. And then there are like lights in it, and some have like an escape room, like a puzzle included. Yes. Those are the Anti-Pharaoh series.
Yes. So Room 1 has 3 sub-brands. Mm-hmm. That's Room 1, that's Anti-Pharaoh, and Bloom. Mm-hmm. And all of cards that are under the Anti-Pharaoh series, they all include a puzzle.
Yeah. And yeah, we're going to stock those. And they're so nice. Okay. So I'm very excited about this. And what else? Do we want to talk more about the first few days when we really had like so much good food that we liked a lot? Oh my God, the hot pot and the guy who was juggling with the Chinese ramen.
Yeah.
And and then we had some very traditional Chinese food on the turning table, which I love, because I love when people have to like look at each other and really like take in what's happening around them and make sure they're not like taking somebody's food while they're taking it.
Well, that sometimes didn't work out. If you're not that dexterous with chopsticks, it might be a bit difficult. Some of the foods are very slippery, and before you get to grab them, the food is already on its way out.
Well, luckily we're quite skilled
with chopsticks. And we're a skilled cardman. And we actually realized if you're a skilled card person, it might be easier for you to master the chopsticks.
And I wasn't afraid to use the spoon.
Wow. He was, yeah. He would take the spoon and he would not be afraid to use it. Okay. So that was before the convention. Do we want to say anything more about the pre-convention, the pre-show?
I think that was the most interesting part, the tours. So
yes. And sorry.
So we're back on Saturday, I was gonna say.
Yeah, and I wanted to do a segue because in the bus on the way to the factories, we discussed the collaboration decks. So there were 3 decks introduced at the opening ceremony of the convention.
Nice.
And first try. And so first
one was Fontaine Glitch. So you may be familiar with those because the red edition was released a couple of years ago in one of the very first mystery decks that Zach did with Fontaine. Then I think it was the last year the blue glitch was released. And now, as a special collaboration with Room 1 for the Asia Card Convention, they released a black glitch deck, but it's not just another colorway.
What? What's different?
It's animated. So now it's really a glitch deck. So if you have the deck in the new deck order, the 2 Fontaine Fs on the back basically fall apart and come back together in a really nice rhythm. But if you shuffle the deck, the animation is a true glitch effect.
Yes, it glitches and it's great. It looks really good. And they had quite a few boxes.
Yes, and they sold so many at the event.
Gone. Yep. I think only those that Zach got for himself remained.
And a little bit.
Second deck.
It was the missing beam.
Yes, the missing beam, our favorite. Well,
so
second favorite.
It's close second.
It's very close second.
We love you, Nathan.
Yes.
So the missing beam, at first it looks like a very simple deck with a white border, very vibrant blue background, and the missing logo in the middle. But upon closer inspection, you notice dozens of holes in the cards.
What? Where?
The logo missing is made up of hundreds of holes.
Tiny
very
little
small
holes.
Very small holes. So the stat says there are over 20,000 holes per deck.
Oh, God. But how does the deck handle being perforated like this?
Basically standard.
Right?
Yes.
It handles really good.
Yes. And the only difference is when you touch the very middle of the deck where the logo is, because you can feel the holes.
And it looks so great and it handles really well. And yeah, we love it. I think it was a brilliant idea.
Yes.
We were told that it was Room 1's idea.
Yes.
I think Nathan had some idea?
Yeah, I think Nathan wanted the whole logo to be gone.
Yeah, right.
To be like very big cutout, but it wouldn't work with the cards, the structure, and maybe the logo itself. So they came up with this version where there are so many little holes in the cards.
Yeah. And it doesn't affect the handling of the cards at all. And yeah, so we're very happy about those. Yes. Even though they're not ours. Now let's talk about ours.
Yes. So we teased those in some of the previous episodes, but we finally unveiled the butterfly try-all set.
Yes, and Pavel is the most right and the perfect person to talk about it because he is the initiator of this idea and he came up with it and he even drafted the design. And Pavel, tell us all about it.
So the butterfly try-all set came up as an idea based on the Roots playing cards by Room 1. It's a 3-deck series each deck looks different, and each deck is printed on a different stock.
Oh, you mean the roots?
Yes, the roots. So Room 1 uses 3 stocks, 270, which is very soft and a thin, kind of like old school studs.
Mm-hmm.
Then they use 290, which is quite stiff, kind of like casino style decks. And then they use 300, which is basically the closest to the USPC decks, to the most classic ones. So it's not too thin, it's not too thick, and
Oh, so the 300 is thinner than 290?
it's actually a little thicker, but it's softer than the 290.
Ah, interesting. Okay, so those are the roots.
Those are the roots. And my idea for the cards were to find out what people really like about cards. What stock do they like? If they like thin cards, thick cards, stiff cards. And you can try out different decks on the market, but they all look different. And the design, even if you don't think, will influence your opinion about the cards.
Right.
Because if you don't like the design, you will most likely don't like the cards overall.
Okay.
And if the cards look different, you will tend to prefer some of those that match your style or your liking or just the color. So the Butterfly Trial set, the name suggests it, it has 3 decks and they look completely the same.
But
they are printed on the 3 different stocks I mentioned previously. So there is one deck printed on the 270, one deck printed on the 290, and one deck printed on the 300-gram stock.
Okay, and we want to know what people like and why.
Yes.
So we're going to walk around and ask them?
No. So each of the 3 decks actually comes with a card with a QR code that will take you to an online form where you can leave us your feedback. So after you get the cards, open them, play with them for some time to find out the differences, what you like, what you don't like. And then in the online form, let us know what is your experience with the cards.
Cool. And why should I fill it out?
So there are 2 reasons. The more direct one is that one of you that will respond to the form will be randomly chosen to receive a prototype set of the trial set.
Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. But what if I don't win?
Well, then you can look forward to the second edition of the cards, which we will print on the most favorite of the 3 stocks. So the voting closes on October 31st. We will gather all the results and we'll see which one is the overall winner, or as we call it, the People's Champ.
The People's Champ. That's very exciting. And about the prototype, I would love to keep one. Oh, wait, I'm keeping one. Because we got 2. We received 2 in Prague. And we opened one. And we used it to take photos and photograph a video that we used in the presentation in Foshan. But we kept the other one sealed.
Yes.
And that is the one that will be won by one, but who will be selected randomly, maybe during some live stream or something like that.
Yeah, possibly.
We don't know yet. But it will be probably November 1st or sometime after, like soon after, because the voting ends on October 31st. So before that, you have the opportunity to vote and be a part of the raffle.
Yes.
Wow. And I gotta say, those cards are very pretty. Tell me about it.
They look really good. So it's a minimalistic design with 2 symmetrical butterflies.
Oh, very unusual for butterfly playing cards.
Yes. And they have this fluid design, and they are separated in multiple sections, colored areas. And we used a 5-color palette on those.
So they're green?
No, they are red/pink. That's the color palette.
I like that. And who designed them? You designed them?
I created the initial design by hand, and then the none other than Phil Smith made it look pretty.
Yes, he's very good in making things look pretty, especially 2D things, as far as I know, but he made some 3D as well. Anywho, we are very excited about these. They handle great, and everyone has their personal favorite.
Yes.
And we would like to know what you think. So keep your eyes, ears, and fingers peeled. What?
Please don't peel your fingers.
For the release date, and that is, when is it?
Should be September 12th.
September 12th. Okay. And if we're lucky, this podcast will come out before that, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, that's the first event, and we're like, what, 20 minutes into the podcast? All right, let's talk about the rest.
Yes.
Give me questions.
So, you mentioned you had a lecture?
Yes, I had a lecture.
How did that go?
Oh, I love lecturing. It would be better if more people came, but I lecture for any size of an audience, and this was a nice group, and they were fun. So I did my thing, and I made people laugh because my lecture is a little bit of a show, and people learned, and surprisingly enough, we still saw quite a big portion of the crowd getting butterfly decks
Yes.
to learn. It was at least a half, right? Bought decks, which is very, to me at least, satisfying. So people looked happy, and they kept asking questions even after the show. We had a little autograph session that lasted for very long. That was the lecture. After the lecture, what happened?
Well, there were more lectures.
More lectures.
You attended all of those?
Yes.
So, because we don't want to be here for another 3 hours.
Yeah. Takumi Takahashi did one, which was very good. He has incredible sleight of hand. Some are unchanged sleights of Leonard Green because he's a protege of Leonard's. And some are his either originals or improved versions of Leonard's stuff. And yeah, he's so good. His sleight of hand is amazing. Some things are just invisible. And I got fooled a few times during the lecture myself. Then we had
the event with the biggest attendance.
Okay, so let's leave it to the end. Then we had Patrick Kuhn, who lectured on his stuff, on his new envelopes. What is the name of the product?
It's called Easy Lopes.
Easy Lopes.
So if you know Bonzelopes, the special envelopes used for the card wallet effect, where you can make the spectator's card appear in a wallet in a sealed envelope, you know that one Bonzelope equals one performance. So Patrick came up with Easy Lopes, and that basically solves the problem, because if you take care of them, they will last you a very long time, possibly a lifetime.
Yes. And he taught some cool effects that are very strong, not difficult to master. And, well, to master, yes, but to perform well, no. That went nicely with the envelopes and with his wallet. So that was great. I believe we also have some in stock at butterflyMagicStore.com. Maybe
we have the Easy Lopes. We have Patrick's Instagrab, which, if you don't know, is a really cool effect that uses an Instagram post, and it's basically a prediction type of effect. And then we have the Z-Fold wallet by him and Quiver.
Oh yeah.
Which is a fantastic looking Z-Fold wallet, which I think is one of the thinnest on the market.
It's like a Himber wallet.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and it looks really great. It looks like an ordinary wallet.
Yeah.
And
he told me, I don't know if he told you, David Blaine actually uses it as his normal wallet.
I would not be surprised.
But they made him a special one from a crocodile skin.
Well, it's got to be a crocodile if you're David Blaine. Awesome. So that was Patrick's.
Yes.
Then we had a very cool lecture by Lee Asher about the history of playing cards. I learned some really cool information. That was one of the first places where he unveiled his recent discovery, which is the the earliest, I'm just going to look it up here on my phone because I took a lot of photos. It is the earliest surviving reference to paper playing cards, and it's from 1294. So it's the end of 13th century.
Over 700 years.
Yes. And it talks about, I think it's like a police report that I
think they seized some gambling stuff,
yes,
right?
Exactly. And they talk about the playing cards in there. So that was cool. So that's the earliest reference. And guess what? It was in China. And then he talks about how playing cards got from China to Europe. And then he talks about how the pips came to the actual, the little numbers in the corners, how they came to our cards, and also how the court cards came, how the knave became jack and why, and then cutting cards. So cool, so cool. So if you have a chance to see Lee Asher's lecture, to see him talk about the history of playing cards, even though you don't care about history at all, this is very fascinating and you will benefit out of it for sure.
Yeah. Lee is one of the most knowledgeable people on playing cards, and he can talk about them for hours.
Yes, and he does.
Yeah. And you maybe know him because of his effect, the Asher twist, which is like a very fast-paced twisting the aces. And something we use, or maybe I use very often, he made a table that lets you reference the age of a deck.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, because of the numbers.
Yeah, so the standard USPC decks, like the Bicycles, Telehos, Bees, they all come with a code under the Ace of Spades. And you can use that code, or the first letter of that code, to reference when the deck was printed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is especially useful when you're looking at decks that are printed at the transition era of USPC moving from Cincinnati to Erlanger.
Yeah. And long time ago, well, I say it like he is an age-old gentleman. He's not. But he released a VHS tape lecture video called Cooking with Lee Asher. That's one very early video I learned some magic from. And not only me, I was talking to Dan Buck from Dan and Dave, and he said that was one of the early videos they watched, and they loved it, and they learned slides from it. So that's Lee Asher.
And talking about Dan Buck, he happened to be there as well.
Oh, yes, with his brother, his twin brother, Dave Buck. And they had the thing you talked about. What was it again?
So they had the lecture. It was the final lecture of Saturday. And everybody who was at the venue came to see Dan and Dave. When they first came into the dealer's hall, they were swarmed.
That's right.
By all of the attendees.
Well, everybody was at the lecture except Pavel.
Yeah.
Who was in the dealer's room alone, basically. Oh my goodness.
But you saw their lecture. What was it about?
But I saw the lecture, and the whole lecture was about smoke and mirrors.
The iconic smoke and mirrors.
The iconic smoke and mirrors. And for the first time, they revealed not only all the editions, but also the print runs of the editions. And I'm just looking at the first slide, which is V1, released on August 1st, 2008 at 8 p.m. Pacific time. It was the run of 10,000 decks, and they were sold for $5.95 US.
And now, or not now, after you finish this podcast, go on eBay and try searching for the first edition of Smoke and Mirrors.
Yeah. And also get a quote from United States Playing Cards, and you might get something very close just to manufacture those cards. It is crazy. Yeah. And they just went through everything, and they also shared stories about, how they released the V6 Rouge deck at some convention in like their hotel room. They just clicked like open, and within a minute, all 15,000 of those sold. So they were like, what? What? They had no idea what just happened. They were so confused.
And they said, we're going to do it again.
Yeah, and they printed another 15,000 that sold again in under a minute.
Imagine doing that now.
August 2011, 14 years ago. Good times. Yeah, and the last deck of the solely Dan and Dave Smoke and Mirrors happened in November 22nd, 2013, and that was the Private Reserve, the gold hand-wrapped beautiful decks. And everything after were collaborations.
Yeah. How many in total did they print?
How many Smoke and Mirrors, like all editions in
Yes.
total, like including the Chinese edition that they sold license to?
Yeah.
So yeah, well, hard to tell because they don't really know how many decks exactly the Chinese market made, but only the Chinese editions, that was approximately 115,000 decks printed. And in total, we wait for it, 332,468. Well, that's very precise given the approximation of the Chinese. But
And it's
yeah,
just a ridiculous number of decks.
it's a big number. It's more than the butterfly cards out there.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, and that was all the lectures. And then we had some shows.
So the show was on Sunday. It was the final event of the venue.
Yes.
And it had you, Takumi, and Patrick.
That's right. It was 3 performers. They did about 15 minutes each.
Yep.
Maybe Takumi did 16. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. And Takumi, he opened the show and he did some crazy stuff. Patrick, he did his magic. Very charming. I really like Patrick. And then I did my usual bullshit. I felt like the audience is getting tired. So I just began the show with some like crazy yelling into the audience.
Imagine like a squirrel on cocaine.
Yeah, that was pretty much
that kind of energy. But the people loved it.
Well, it also helped me wake up because we were very tired after those 4 days in China.
Yep.
And then I did some more fun and jokes, and I played with Yun Shen, my translator.
Could you be more specific on how did you play with him?
How did I play with Yun Shen? Well, in the very beginning, the day before the convention started, I told him that basically him translating me, it's gonna be sort of a dialogue between us. We're gonna play, we're gonna have fun, and that's exactly what happened. So I let him. Sometimes I forced him to translate things he didn't want to translate, and sometimes I just let him translate even the noises I made, which was funny, and it was fun, and I think he enjoyed it as well. At least he told me so after. And most importantly, I think the audience appreciated it and had fun as well. Yeah, I think it was a good show.
And that closed the whole event, the first Asia Card Convention.
Yes.
How was your experience? What is your opinion? How did you enjoy that?
I love conventions. I really, really like conventions. Okay, personal, very honest business opinion. I think we could sell more cards, especially in the deals room, but giving the number of people attending and also the mixture of the specialties there, I don't think there were that many magicians. I think it was more cardists than magicians.
Yeah, it looked like it because a lot of the people that came to the convention were walking the whole time with the deck of cards doing some kind of crazy flourishes.
Yes. Luckily, not everything we had there were marked cards. So we sold something, but if I wasn't there as a performer, it probably wouldn't be as great. But because I was there as a performer, as a lecturer, and I just had fun with people, talking to people. It was my first time performing in China. So we made a lot of new friends, magicians, cardists, collectors, and owners of like printing companies and production companies. So taking that into account, it was very, very successful. And I really liked the event. I think even though it was their very first one, and we also gonna have a very first one in October, I think it was very well organized.
Yeah.
And everybody had fun. They enjoyed the convention. The lineup was very good. And that is exactly what's going to happen in October 17th and 18th and 19th in Prague at Butterfly WonderCon. We will have myself, obviously, Juliana Chen, Tobias Dostal, and Moritz Müller. And it's going to be just friendship, lectures, discussions, shows, and it will be just great. I'm so looking forward to it, especially now after this convention. I'm so looking forward to ours. It's crazy. But this one, kudos to Room 1. It was great. Thank you, Marco Pong, for inviting me. And the rest of the team of Room 1, all really nice people, very professional. And the hospitality was incredible. We had a phenomenal dinner every night, which is probably not going to be our case at Butterfly WonderCon because our budget is somewhere else. But we'll try. We'll try. And great. How about you, Pavel? Tell me.
I have to agree with you. The people we met and the friends we made was the best part of the convention.
Yeah.
Everybody from Room 1, Marco, Jackie, Ocean, Ryan, they were all so nice, so friendly. It was a pleasure to meet them. It was nice talking with Nathan from Missing.
Yeah.
We maybe are talking about doing some stuff with them, but
what? We'll see.
We'll see. But at least we got some cards from him that are or shortly will be on our store. Quite a plethora of Missing playing cards.
Yes, and we're pretty excited about his ideas and what he brought to the table. Very different from
it's completely different from us, but that's what I like about it.
Exactly.
And then we met Kenji and Pan from the CKB Studios, the other organizers of the convention. They were so nice. They are collectors. They love playing cards. And they have some very fascinating decks of cards that are basically unsearchable in Europe or in the US.
And unfindable.
And unattainable and
unobtainable.
And I'm very much looking forward to those as well.
Yes. So that was Asia Card Convention in Foshan in China last week. We just got back 2 days ago.
Yeah, we're recording this on August 28th.
No jet lag. We're very happy.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to our rambling. Hopefully some of it was interesting to you. Let us know if you enjoyed it and let us know how we could improve because we're in the beginnings. And let us know if you have any questions because we're always happy to answer them in the comments or wherever you have the opportunity to do so. You can always email us at...
It's eshop@butterflymagicstore.com.
Yes.
You can send us a message on Instagram or you can comment on Spotify, on YouTube. I'm not sure if you can comment on Apple Podcast, but there are lots of platforms that you can reach out to us through.
Thank you so much. I'll give Pavel the opportunity to do the closing words. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for following us on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, and for subscribing on YouTube. And we'll talk to you in the 6th episode of the Butterfly Talk.
Bye.